Hey guys, it's Jen, and today I wanted to share with you another Sephora haul. I made a little order at Sephora.com. I've had a few items that have been sitting in my cart for a while, so I thought it was about time to go ahead and check out. Some of them are longtime favorites that I'm just stocking back up on, but there are a couple of things I'm super excited to share with you. So I can't wait to just hop right in and give you guys a little swatchy swatch action. First of all, I do want to say thank you so much to Sephora for sponsoring this video, and let's go ahead and jump right in. First, I'm going to start off with a long time favorite. This is the NARS Creamy Concealer. I'm sure if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll know that this is something that I use like basically every single day. It is one of my very favorite concealers, especially for the under eyes, but honestly, I use this all over my face. I picked up the color Vanilla, which is a little bit on the lighter side. I believe I have a couple of colors. Cafe con Leche, I think, might be the one that I use to match exactly my skin tone. Vanilla I really love for highlighting, which I've been totally into lately, especially under the eye area and in this forehead T-zone nose area, to just give a little bit of extra contrast to that summertime glowy bronzy look without, you know, going way overboard with glitter and sparkles. So let me show you guys what it looks like. Just has your standard packaging like this. I actually didn't know that this was going to be a good color for me until I went to a NARS event fairly recently, and I got to swatch a whole bunch of the concealers like right next to each other, and this one was just really lovely on my skin tone. It's like mainly neutral, slightly pink, so it really does a really pretty highlighting effect. So if you're someone where your main concern is having dark under eye circles, if you're more like a medium, neutral, golden kind of undertone, and you want that brightening effect versus going with a more yellow concealer, something that's a little more neutral to slightly pink is really going to brighten this area right here and give you that glow kind of look without being obvious. So I absolutely love this. I use this all the time. The texture is just like the name implies. It's very creamy and it's a little bit more radiant. What the makeup artist at the NARS event told me is that these are super great for highlighting under eyes, and then they have a more matte concealer that's better for doing like spot concealing if you have pigmentation and zits. But again, like I said, I kind of still just use this all over my face, and I think it looks wonderful. Next, I wanted to share one of my favorite pencil eyeliners. So this is from Marc Jacobs. It's called the Highliner, and it is a gel eye crayon. I picked it up in the color Brown Out, like in parentheses. There were a million of the black shades, and I love me a really good black eyeliner, but there's something about brown that I feel like is really beautiful for the summertime, sort of being like slightly softer, but still having that ability to be quite dark and smoky. And the formula of this one in particular is very smooth and creamy. I would compare the texture a lot to the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil eyeliners, but this one I kind of like even better because it's a twist up version, so you don't need to have any special sharpeners or anything else with you. Plus it's like really silky on the skin. Like there's no drag. You don't really have to like break it in like some pencils. It's really smooth and just glides on so softly. Also, one little tip, I don't know if you guys realize this, but a lot of this style of pencil eyeliner, the back cap actually pops off. So if you want a really sharp tip, it's a little sharpener. So you just twist it and you can get your pencil eyeliners to be extra sharp without any other separate sharpeners, especially these kinds that you twist up, because the base, as you use it, it loses that sharp tip. So that's a little makeup life hack. I think a lot of people don't realize that that exists. So, two-parter of why I love this one in particular. You twist this up and down, you don't need any other special sharpeners, and the sharpener it has is built in. So especially as the weather gets warmer and things heat up, we tend to have a lot more oils around our eyes, and so during the summer, instead of just using my eyeshadow to line my lower lash line, I like starting off with a really great pencil eyeliner and then setting that with the eyeshadow, because then it just seems to bleed a little bit less. And then if you have eyes that aren't monolids that are constantly rubbing, of course you can also use it on your upper lash line, but that's just how I use it. Marc Jacobs, it's really amazing. Next, I wanted to share a lipstick that I picked up. You guys know how obsessed I am with a really good orangey red. Every single spring and summer, I'm very predictable like that, but it just gives me this feeling of having that really nice popping tomatoey lip. It just looks so good in photos. I just feel feel like it really gets me in the mood to like experiment a little, even if I have like a pretty simple face without a lot of makeup. If you just add one little poppy lip, it just brightens everything up. So I thought this was a beautiful shade. This is part of the Sephora #Lip Stories collection, which the last time I went into a Sephora store, they had a really beautiful kiosk panel area that had all of these pictures and all the different colors. And obviously I was just really drawn to this shade. This one is number 25 and it's a matte formula. I love a good matte bright poppy lip, especially because like my lips get kind of drier here and there, and I feel like it covers up a lot of the wrinkling and imperfections, whereas a gloss, it doesn't show immediately, but as soon as that glossy layer wears off, sometimes it makes my lips even more dry and look more crusty. So a great matte lip can actually cover up a lot of the lines in your lips and stuff going on as long as you exfoliate beforehand. Little tip. Anyway, this is a matte formula and the shade name is First Class. Let me open it up. It still has this plastic packaging. This one, it looks like it has a bunch of chairs. Each tube has like a different photo on it that has its own backstory, but this one has chairs from an airline, hence First Class. This is what the bullet looks like. It's very, very bold. Let me see if I can put this on. So first of all, this color is amazing. I absolutely love it. I also like that it's a little bit more of a reddish orange because I feel like compared to some of the really bright, intense oranges, this is like pretty easy to pull off. It's definitely a daytime red versus something you would only wear out for an evening or a date night or something like that. I feel like this is something where if you just had it on during like a work day or a school day, people would just compliment you on your lipstick instead of thinking like, oh, is she supposed to go somewhere? It also feels really comfortable on the lips. It doesn't feel like overly drying or like overly slippery. It's just a very comfortable feeling. You know how some lipsticks, they're so heavy that you kind of end up talking like this because you're like hyper aware of it being on your face? I don't know if that's just me. That definitely happens with some of those like really glossy liquid lipsticks that have been popular lately, but this is not like that at all. It's very comfortable to wear. I can't really even feel like there's anything on my lips. It feels very good. So yeah, first impressions overall, I'm really liking these Sephora Lip Stories lipsticks. Next, I picked up an eyeshadow palette, which I am super stoked about because this is by Huda Beauty. If you don't know who Huda is, she is another online influencer and she has this amazing makeup brand that is carried at Sephora. And this is the Desert Dusk palette. I looked at this and I just thought it was so gorgeous. And this is also my very first Huda Beauty purchase. I just have to show you. This is like so stunning. It's all of the kind of colors I am so into right now. It's very warm, and the problem I had with a lot of neutrally eyeshadows in the past is that the cooler tone neutrals just turn really grayish and dull on my eyes. I feel like sometimes when I used to see makeovers on Asians on like television back in the day, I would always be really disappointed because they would always try to go for like a gray tone or something that was really cool, and it just didn't flatter the girl's complexion and eye color. This definitely will. It brings out those yellow warm tones in the skin and the warmer brown tones in the eyes, and it's really my very favorite kind of shade range I like working with, especially for the summertime. It just has those like sparkly, coppery, glittery kind of looks. So this palette has tons of those. The range seems very neutral brown to warm copper, rust colors, and even a bunch of purples. I'm seeing a lot of glittery shades, which are really beautiful. So there's a heavy mix here of mattes, satins, metallics, and straight up glitters. So I'm excited to swatch a few of these. It looks like some of the glittery, more metallic shades are even a little bit duochrome, which you know is like one of my favorite things, especially just patting in the middle of the eyelid because you don't have to use as many colors, but because of the shift in the light, it makes you look like you put in more effort than you actually did. I'm going to check out Blood Moon, which is a really beautiful satin rust, Nefertiti, beigey gold with a little bit of glitter in there. And then some of these purples are really stunning. I just watched Cosmo, which is very glittery. This would have to be a patting onto the eye situation because it's not swatching really smoothly. It seems more like a loose glitter, to be honest. So I would definitely recommend a little bit of a glitter base if you're going to be using that shade. So for the most part, I feel like these are really beautiful in one swatch using no primer. Like I said, save for the one super glittery shade Cosmo here, which really is more of a glitter than an eyeshadow. These are all swatching really, really beautifully. I can't wait to sort of expand upon my warm neutrals to like having some of these sassier colors at my disposal. So I feel like this is really going to help me experiment a little bit more, since I know all of these colors coordinate really well to some of my recent eyeshadow loves, like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance, which definitely has a little bit of more of those reds and pinky tones. If you don't have that palette, I'm gonna link it down below because it is amazing and would go really well with this. If you already have the Anastasia palette, this is gonna go really beautifully together because all of the colors will coordinate. But this is definitely a little bit more of that like going out vibe. There's definitely more metallics and glitters and fun things to incorporate. So I just can't wait to like play around with this a little bit more, experiment for the summertime when I get a minute after I have the baby, and just sort of like expand things a little bit when I want to have some more fun with my makeup. And then finally, I wanted to talk about two little minis that I picked up using my rewards points. If you guys don't already know about it, Sephora has a rewards program. It's free no matter what tier you have, but there are 3 different tiers. The first one is just being an insider, and then the second tier is a VIB, and then the third tier, which is like, heaven help me, I have a clear obsession with Sephora. That one is called Rouge, and I have more points accumulated in my account than I would like to admit, but that just means that whenever there's a really good thing that you can turn in your points for, especially if it's something I already use or something that I want to check out but I don't necessarily want to splurge on the full-size product, I take advantage of it. So in this particular order, I picked up the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream. You guys may have heard me talk about this before because I absolutely love it in the full-size version, and I think these little minis are so wonderful for travel. They take up a lot less space and they're a lot less heavy to carry around. So it's just really nice to have like these little tiny containers that are already in the products that you love. Doing a super quick review of this product, this is a really amazing moisturizer if you have drier skin. It's not like scented or anything. It just has a wonderful fluffy texture, and my skin personally just drinks this stuff in. I love it, especially for the winter time, and so I'm really happy to just have this on hand for the next time I have to, like, for instance, go to Kansas when it's snowing like I did a few months ago. I really recommend this if you have normal to drier skin. And then the second little freebie that I got, I should stop saying freebie because it counted for 100 of my Sephora points, okay? This was like a really fancy mini because it's YSL. It's their Touche Blur Primer. This thing is gorgeous. It actually has little tiny gold flecks in it. I feel like this is just a really generous size. It's 0.33 fluid ounces. Open this up. This is a product I actually have not tried before, but something that I am definitely interested in. So it looks like the end has a little spatula type of thing for the applicator. So this says blurring and illuminating primer, maximizing skin radiance. Radiance is always nice for the summertime as well. So this to me on the skin feels actually a lot like silicone based primers. It's very slippy, and then once it's on the skin it feels very hydrating and a little bit blurring. The smell is really nice. You guys know I hate really strong fragrances, but YSL is a company where I think every single scented thing they make is like my favorite scent. Their lip products all smell like fresh fruit and melons, and then this has just a really light, fresh, barely floral, but not so floral it's gonna knock you out kind of scent. And look, the skin on my hand looks so baby smooth. Very excited to take that along with me the next time I have to travel so that I don't have to take my giant containers of primer along with me, especially because a lot of my primers tend to be in like glass containers, so I don't want it to break. This is just really handy. It's a little plastic tiny thing, and it looks really, really gorgeous. So I guess that is about it for my Sephora haul. I really really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you found this video helpful, I would absolutely love it if you would hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and turn on the notifications bell. I've heard so many people say that they haven't been seeing my videos coming up, so if you turn on the notifications, it'll let you know when this video is up or the next video is gonna be up too. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!